From Registrar of Societies. Yes. This is the printout from Registrar of Societies. You never find Mr. Edgar Chagwalungu here as president.
Catch Amazing Minds Mondays and Fridays 22 hours Central African Time on YouTube and Spotify for podcasters. Amazing Minds, Zambia's first late night show.
What's going on, guys? Today we're not starting with the whole one kwacha story, and funny enough, I actually left this one kwacha here. Or 15 grand. You're welcome to Amazing Minds, Zambia's first late night show. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe, hit the bell, share. Show is available Mondays and Fridays, 22 hours Central African Time. Mondays are the political segment of the show, and Fridays are Bible Talks. I almost said Wednesdays. Wednesdays was decommissioned officially. We are now dealing with Monday and Friday. Yeah, I'm here with Mr. Jofaya. How are you doing, sir?
King Commando. Super power.
I'm waiting for that one at, what do you call it? There's a name that you used to call yourself. Nalaba.
Yeah, Pakistan.
Yeah, too many titles.
Black belt.
Black belt.
I also, funny enough, I still have this.
You still have your...
Kwacha. You're calling them one kwacha.
Yeah, one kwacha. This one kwacha.
Together it's a one kwacha.
Together it's a one kwacha. Yeah, this one kwacha that we are collectively holding. And I just realized I'm light-skinned and I have dreads. He had dreads at that time.
Oh, yeah.
No relation to Mr. Mlwanda whatsoever.
It's something else in common that I won't say.
Older woman? Yeah, please, guys.
What is Shavinga saying? On this paper, there's no Edgar Lungu.
He got a printout from Registrar of Societies. When you check here, you go behind.
There's no Edgar Lungu.
There's no Edgar Lungu here. He's got like a very Zambian accent. When you check behind, not behind, behind. He's like chef. Chef is Tumbuka.
It's like me, man.
You know these things.
I'm like chef.
You are Tumbuka. You're like chef, eh?
Yeah.
It's like whenever anyone tells me that one of my younger siblings looks like me, I say, no, that I look like them. I say,
The other way around.
They look like me.
In fact, chef is like me, eh?
Chef is like you.
Chef 187. Because my nature mbanda chitanda sana.
Na hamoba upoba mwebera tuwaripana na ashara na asha paraini. Yeah, so hope you guys are subscribed. Hit the notification bell and share. Show is available Mondays and Fridays. That's on YouTube and Spotify for podcasters. Spotify for podcasters, most of you may not be able to access it on the app, so you have to use the browser. But come on, guys, we are worth it.
Do people listen to those?
Spotify for podcasters? Yeah,
just podcasts in general.
Yeah, people do. I prefer video, but there are people who like audio when they're driving, when they're washing, cooking,
in the bathroom.
Yeah, let's be a bit respectful of what people do in private. In
the bathroom,
Yeah, in the bathroom. washing their faces. Yeah. Since now we call everything bathroom.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to the bathroom. I don't toilet. Where are the bathrooms here? Yeah. All right. Last time someone commented, I almost told him to go and start his own, but he was like, too much chit chat.
Oh.
Get straight to the point. Sir, actually, when you go in town, there's a shop here like this. They sell nice microphones.
And the straight to Wakonika left.
Aha. Waguruza got my microphone. Umuso.
But to be fair, he had a point.
No, he did have a point. So, Apa, this chit chat, we are sorry. We have a number of things to discuss on the show today. To start with, we're discussing Robert Chavinga's expulsion of ECL from the PF. We're going to discuss the Bank of Zambia raising the monetary policy rate. And the Electoral Commission of Zambia sets a date for the Kawambwa by-election. And lastly, we'll discuss the drama in Parliament over the sale of Mopani. Yeah, so that's what we're discussing on the show today. And I hope you brought your shouting clothes, or is that Bible Talks language? Yeah, so...
It's Amazing Minds language.
It's Amazing Minds language, eh? Yeah, so Mr. Chavinga has expelled the former PF president and former Republican President Edgar Chagwa Lungu from the PF, the Patriotic Front Party. As you guys may have seen in our intro video, he got a printout from the Registrar of Societies to inform us that Mr. Lungu's name is no longer appearing on the said printout. Along with Mr. Lungu, we have also heard a couple of names that we'll show you in the video when he explains who has been expelled. But he didn't end there. He said some further names will be given by the Secretary General in due course. So what we are seeing is that there are a number of expulsions that have happened in the Patriotic Front by this interim president, so to say. We don't know whether he's permanent yet. I don't know what's happening with Mao Sampa. I don't know what the... So who's president here?
PF and Leme, so.
I tell you, we're stressed with this issue.
Yeah, these guys abused us when they are in power, when they were in power. And now we need to follow their shenanigans.
Their issues.
And their shenanigans are very confusing at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Mao Sampa sued the Chavinga, right?
Yes. We'll show it too.
I don't know. So right now, according to what Chavinga read there, according to the document that Chavinga was showing us from the Registrar of Societies, it shows that he's the rightful president of PF.
I thought Mao Sampa had a document from
That's
Register.
what I thought as well, but it's like things have changed.
So Mao Sampa
And
has...
if they've changed at the Registrar of Societies without Mao Sampa being in the know, then it just confirms our suspicions that the state is also meddling in these affairs.
And there's some forgery involved because there was supposed to be some signatures.
No, it's possible
required,
that they changed.
I think. No, but if you're going to change ownership of...
But you don't forget that the Secretary General, who Mao Sampa chose, is also siding with Chavinga.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not too familiar with the procedure of changing office bearers with the society, with the registrar.
Yeah,
with PACRA, however, I'm very confident with that. To change such a thing wouldn't be done without the consent of the person who's being removed from such a position.
All of them. Oh yeah, of course. I know.
Yeah, like the president of the party.
Well.
Yes, they would need to sign. They would need to either forfeit or surrender or give up in some kind of way.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the procedure with the Registrar of Societies. If you guys know this, please leave it in the comments.
Yeah.
Except it's a bit strange to hear that he would have a document which we would like to assume is legal. That states something that's different from what we were shown not too long ago, actually. Because we remember that this change was done on behalf of Mao Sampa at the registrar. This is why there was also issues of the police blocking certain people from entering the secretariat because they were no longer the lawful owners of the party. Even though that change was done without them forfeiting. So I don't know. Maybe it happens. We don't know.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's interesting.
Yeah, so Mr. Chavinga gave his... You can hear it from the horse's mouth himself.
At this juncture, members of the press, I wish to make it very clear that President Edgar Chagwa Lungu and the team, namely Mr. Given Lubinda, Raphael Nakachinda, Emmanuel Mwamba, Madam Mbipiri, Madam Professor Nkanduluo, and the others that shall be announced in due course by the Secretary General. They are expelled from the party. They are expelled from the party.
Speaking of Secretary General, who is the current Secretary General?
Morgan Ngona.
Morgan Ngona. Is he the guy who was seated next to him last time, or the gentleman?
Actually,
that
right
was
now
seated?
he's the guy who's seated next to him. It's only that they are not showing.
They are not sure. Ah, okay.
I don't know why if my tradition was it powder. This guy seems organized, and then he's wearing Michael Sata's chitenge.
And about tribal cousinship. There was an issue last week we talked about this.
Really?
Someone did not want tribal cousinship to be. Oh no! I think that's just something else. Yeah.
Yeah, but and then Avala chitenge cha Michael Sata. So I don't know. The guy seems disorganized. Okay?
He does. Even though I may almost understand. Wasn't there a PF guy who died? Why was this happening?
Why?
The Milimio. Isn't this a funeral tradition?
No. This was happening in Pamene Zokambat now. This guy they've expelled when I had Garung. So this is a mark of celebration.
Oh, that was it.
To say they've taken over PF finally.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
The Chitenge maybe explains what he's talking about, that some people suppose that he will throw away the party, sell it, he's been hired.
Maybe.
And so maybe he's trying to show his... Was he part of this Michael Sata?
Yes, actually he says that Michael Sata is the person who identified him and supported him in his constituency in Mafinga.
Kakofi na ukaroresha na ukakwatromfimbirai. So Mr. Chavinga spoke of some assumptions that are going out, some aspersions that he may be a hire that is trying to sell the Patriotic Front. But again, hear it from the horse's mouth.
There has been the perception that has been attributed to me in social media by the propaganda machinery led by one Emmanuel Mwamba and his friends that I have been hired to sell the party, that I have been hired that I would register the party. This party, the Patriotic Front, is there to stay and it shall not be sold.
Mr. Chavinga, with all due respect, I know whenever people say with all due respect, they're about to disrespect. I'm not about to do that. The way that you have handled the changes of ownership, the changes of this and that in the Patriotic Front Party, which is also reminding me of a story that we'll be touching on much later on the show today, Mopani. But when changes are being made to an institution so easily like this, then we can begin to suspect that you indeed deregister the party or sell it. Especially when there's so much noise being made about something that doesn't look like it's ever going to come back into power. I'm saying this because right now, the PF does not have someone. Even the guy we thought can stand has been expelled. So we don't know what the future of the party is anymore. But yeah, you say you won't sell it, so I guess we'll have to believe you. And in response to this, Mao Sampa has filed contempt charges against the registrar, Mr. Chavinga, I guess, which goes back to what we were saying. How were the changes made with the registrar without his consent? So he has filed some contempt charges, and we don't know how far that will go.
And also, I hope we haven't forgotten about what happened to the former registrar of societies, Madam. Forgotten her first name. Should be Mehende or something. Yeah, I've forgotten the first name. Yeah, you remember she was hounded out. Why?
Yes,
because she produced an original document of the PF office bearers.
I remember.
That she gave to those lawyers when Amake Bizur.
Yeah.
So
that was the one that said Mao Sampa was president, not so?
No. So she produced a document, an old document that had the names of Benaid Galungu.
Oh.
Yeah. So when she produced it, because that's what they took to court to a PF to say, no, at the registrar of societies, we still have these names. And then in the state, in fact, before they actually went and presented that, the state got wind of it that they had, because the PF, of course, they started now sharing the documents online and all those things.
Yes.
Yeah. So when it was found out, she was moved. That's what the Condias monitor said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But she was removed from being
yeah.
of societies. Yeah. I'm just saying because now Mouse Sampa is suing the registrar of society.
Yes, so we might be seeing something similar if there is some truth to what's really? It's by your mic. There is this fly that has like been in the studio for the past. Flies are supposed to live for 7 days, ideally.
Okay.
Yeah, but this one has lived for 3 weeks.
No.
If you
But anyway, there's a particular registrar of society. Yeah, so right now I'm getting a feeling because this is now just giving me a hint that now we have a compromised one at the registrar of society. This is why they can even change those names abruptly. We knew that there's a Mouse Sampa. Now there's a Robert Chavinga.
Robert Chavinga. Hey, how?
Yeah, so anyway, as I was saying, maybe this is these are the results of what the PF did to Zambians.
Yeah.
They abused us a lot and now the chickens have come home to roost.
Yeah, speaking of chickens coming home to roost. Okay, no, there is no connection. But the Bank of Zambia has.
No, there is. Chickens have come home to roost, man.
Chickens indeed have come home to roost.
This is the third time that the Bank of Zambia is raising the MPR.
Yeah. That's true.
Which is not a good thing, right?
No, it's not. It's not a good thing.
3 times in 1 year.
Yes, yeah. 3 times in 1 year is not a good thing. It shows that we have to be mechanical with our economy. The economy must at some point begin to get into autopilot mode where, we don't necessarily have to.
And in the US, they are cutting rates, right? In fact, this year they've been cutting.
In the US?
Yeah. They're expected to cut for the 3rd time actually in December.
Yeah? Oh, and not increase. Whereas we
cut.
Yes, and they have inflation too, but they are doing far much better. They are cutting. Whereas we are increasing our MPR. Yeah.
No, but the thing is this
by 50 basis points. Woo.
Yeah. So the thing is that in the US, at least inflation has been slowing down, so to say. The rise in inflation has been slowing down.
Why, the news of Trump? News of Trump?
Not quite. As I told you last time, I think these guys have got a very serious system. So their Federal Reserve works as if I don't see any much of a difference between what Trump's administration is. Well, I don't see any difference between what Trump's administration was doing when they were in power prior to when they were in power in 2016 and the way the Biden administration was treating the whole thing. I mean, it's just...
Okay, anyway, we'll not get into that. I refuse to be tempted.
Really?
I refuse to be tempted. Yeah,
anyway, but the fact is that in the US they are cutting rates.
Yeah,
and the inflation is slowing down. And also, my economy is yet Yasi and Amaning, so it's really hard to compare. Because the other thing is that the US, I think, targets like 2% inflation. 2%
inflation per year. That's their target.
Yeah. They are targeting their inflation to go down to 2%.
Okay. Oh,
they want that to be the normal thing.
Sorry, I was a bit lost there. I get it.
And you know our target? I think it's 8%. Now, if you talk about inflation, the difference between 8% and 2% is huge.
It's huge. And right now we're at 15%.
Yes, 15 point something. No, we're at 15?
15, yeah.
15 point something.
15 point something, yeah.
And the IOMA rates are to be 14%.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but how does this affect us? It means that it will be more expensive to borrow?
To an extent, it will be more expensive to borrow. This may affect the rate of the interest rates for bonds and all that stuff. This may generally also have a ripple effect in terms of the commodity. The commodities won't go down, regardless of whether we see some kind of stabilization in the dollar. Have you ever seen situations where the dollar either the kwacha is doing better, it's appreciating, or it's stagnant for a while against the dollar, but the prices of commodities are either still going up or still the same? Yeah, as a matter of fact, commodities never go down. Once they go up, almost in our economy,
of course,
at least
our inflation.
Yeah, in America, they would expect that if the dollar appreciates, the prices of commodities will go down because it's kind of accurate.
Okay.
So doing these things, you're trying to be mechanical with with the, you know what they say at Inganda by Kumbomtenge? You have a good appearance outside, but inside it's rubbish.
So what I say?
Yeah, I'm trying to say this is for appearance purposes. This doesn't have a qualitative effect. It's a quantitative measure. You know the difference between quantitative economics and qualitative. Quantitative deals with numbers. You're just playing with numbers. Oh, the inflation looks good, but the quality of lives are not improving.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay.
Yes.
But does this slow down our economy? This rapid rise in the NPR? 3 times, I mean.
It could, and it could to an extent. It could because, of course, the as I said, exchange rates, the interest rates begin to differ. Money becomes less effective. Yes.
People are discouraged to borrow.
People are discouraged
Therefore, they can't invest maybe in risk assets.
Exactly. This might affect loan interests to an extent. Yeah. So it does.
No one is talking about this.
No,
At least not in my circles.
No, yeah, that's the thing. I guess maybe this is also something that we're trying to do at Amazing Minds, to bring a certain level of awareness to people in terms of what they think about politically. Politics is not really just about the candidate, but it's about the policies they're pushing. And the problem is that here locally, and we're talking about our region, our country, the way politics has been for a long time has been who can feed us better and who can feed himself better. And sometimes when we look at someone who is able to feed himself better, we are more confident, like, okay, he won't steal. when in fact it should be policies we are looking at. And that's the problem. We have politics of the belly here, not ideology-based politics. Once we begin to have things we actually believe in as a nation, then our politics will begin to go further. So if we don't have anything we believe in, things like this will keep happening, and no one will have anything to talk about except that Chichi Daisy needs to visit this guy, what's his name? Bowman.
Yeah. And also the police is investigating one cameraman. I heard that from the police.
Are you serious?
Yeah, from the police spokesperson.
Over the same that have leaked?
Yeah.
Oh, it's an offense, eh?
Of course, man. That's why they investigate it. They want to know if that person hopefully produced those things.
Oh, I see.
And if it's really the person that people are talking
What
about.
was the camera angle? I didn't watch. I'm never privy to these videos that leak out, so I just hear the reports.
So why do you ask me?
Why? For reporting purposes.
Then you should watch for reporting purposes.
Na Yesu furu muchifuba.
You will tell a better story if you watch.
Na Yesu furu muchifuba.
But anyway, there's a reason why we don't have that story right now.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have some further details from the Bank of Zambia concerning the same issue. Please take a look.
The decision of the monetary policy at its meeting November 11 to 12th, 2024, the Monetary Policy Committee meeting decided to increase the monetary policy rate by 50 basis points to 14.0%. You recall that in August, the committee paused the process of adjusting the policy rate. But why did we do this time? Well, our observation is that there has been an increase in both actual and projected inflation, which shows that inflation now continues to be above the target band of 6 to 8%. The decision, therefore, to raise the policy rate is aimed at steering inflation back towards the target band and anchoring inflation expectations. By anchoring inflation expectations, we have seen from the different work that we do, members of the public, business community tend to be expecting that inflation will continue to rise. But a continued rise in inflation is obviously not desirable, and that's why the bank was given the primary mandate of price stability.
You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and speaking of 50 basis points, I don't know, in the grand scheme of things, I think for us to start cutting and to just cut 50 basis points at the same time, that's a tall order. And we've done like 150 basis points.
150 basis points.
Yeah.
Yeah. And ask yourself this question. Why did they pause the process of doing this at some point? They know the effects of doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you see, let me just mention this one thing that the UPND has been talking and have been saying, no, the macroeconomic indicators look good. But this inflation, they were singing about it when it went to 9.8, I think, or something.
Yeah.
And everyone started clapping. No, it's the first time that inflation is back to a single digit.
A single digit. And, by the way, there was a point, so it's not a single digit. But...
yeah, exactly. I was also wondering when I was hearing that, but there's a point somewhere.
I know. So, also...
And it's 0.8.
0.8. It's almost 10. So, we can round it off, actually. Yeah. What I mentioned earlier is very important, that we appreciate economic appreciation once it reaches qualitative, when we can actually experience it in our day-to-day lives. If it's still quantitative, we can only see it on numbers, on screens, then it has no effect on our livelihoods. So quantitative economics, I think we need to get past that now. And we're not even doing good in the quantitative economics department.
And you know, there are things like whatever they are doing, this raising the interest rates, the way that it might affect some of the average citizens is that you might have gotten a loan to buy a vehicle and you're driving it and you don't even understand that your loan has gotten more expensive.
Yeah. So there is something also that the bank does called spot rates. I don't know whether they do that with loans, but you can do a spot rate and a future rate where you lock it to the rate today. Then you deal at that rate perpetually, regardless of how.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I don't know whether they do that with loans, but that's something. There's something you can do called a spot rate and a floating rate. Okay. A floating rate is the one that now follows the...
Yeah, but also, I think that most of the loans that people get here, around here, they depend on the MPR.
They're floating, eh?
Yeah. So once the MPR is changing, your interest rate is changing.
Yeah. And the speaker has ordered, wait. Bank of Zambia, please forgive me. Bank of Zambia has warned these flower money bouquets. We really wanted to. We really did. But the Bank of Zambia has refused us.
You really wanted?
Yeah, we really wanted to.
I saw one of my friends on his wife's birthday.
Yeah.
He was busy spamming Facebook about this. He said, hey, Bank of Zambia, when are you making the announcement?
I know, right? By the way, they've only discouraged it. They haven't banned it. So
really?
Yeah, they only discouraged it. For most people that are saying they banned it, no, they just discouraged it. They sent out a warning saying, please don't do it because you might mutilate the knots.
And by the way, have you noticed that I don't know, maybe in quarter, my 5-quarter notes, my 20-quarter notes, here, plays a new sealer.
New sealer. Maybe, who knows, maybe they're trying to phase them out. Is it possible? Because I've noticed that.
It's not possible.
I've noticed that too. It's like they're not printing new notes.
Yeah, it's not possible. And I saw someone complaining. I wish we had the video. A guy was complaining to Airtel to say, "Through my scratch card, 2-quarter, number 5-quarter, I'm too wish."
Really? Yeah, no, they really don't like it. These Airtel money guys, you're going to deposit the 5-quarter. Well, they don't like it.
So that tells me that it's hard to phase out things like a 5-quarter note or a 20-quarter note.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I get it. Oh, yeah, there's still a huge demographic.
Yeah.
That's that's buying airtime for 5-quarter, buying airtime for, and even just commodities that are being sold. That I don't really like that look, but
because I might fit in that demographic.
Really?
Sometimes I buy airtime for 10-quarter.
Yeah, no, I also do. Yeah, so there's a huge demographic that they can't phase. Maybe scratch cards also phasing out. Maybe it was premature.
I think so. Maybe we should have had something in place of that.
Yeah, maybe we should have had a replacement. I found a
Because
woman.
scratch cards also are very cumbersome.
They were very cumbersome. They started printing those to my receipts, kind of.
Yeah, those were
At some
better.
point. Yeah, I found a woman in a shop near home. I think a week or two ago, and she was saying she was there for a while, and so she was just like, okay, no, you can buy them now or continue. It's just a home shop near my place. So the issue was that she was trying to buy airtime, but I think it was a small amount, and she had cash. So now the depositing issue was an issue. He didn't want to deposit a small. So he was now trying to print out some kind of a receipt. I don't know if he was trying to do direct top up, but they had, and she didn't want to go. She was, the Ramzan good is at talk time. Time yansoni nasira.
It's like you end up joining chemists or farmers. I don't know what to call those places. Then now there's ufnogula something.
Yeah.
Do you have my rubber? They don't know what to do.
No. Sometimes you give 5 people chance. No.
No, it's okay. Me, I just live nearby.
No, sir, you're my senior. No, no, I just came to chat with a guy. Can you want to buy something? It's like
in December we should talk about HIV,
Oh, yeah. 1st December.
Yeah.
We need to do that. I once had a colleague who wanted to buy some cream. Maybe I shouldn't talk about this. But okay, he wanted to buy some cream because
by all means.
He had, do you know what hemorrhoids are?
No.
Some infection on the rear.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So he needed to buy cream to apply there, but it was very difficult for him to buy it from the chemist because, of the kind of cream that it is. You have to apply it. So he found ladies in the pharmacy and he chatted them up for like 10 minutes just so he can fertilize the ground before he can bring up that. Yeah. So there are things that are hard to buy from a pharmacy. Maybe that's why the mobile pharmacies would be a good idea. Where the way you have Yango, Yango Market, Yango Delivery, things like that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
But also, would you be afraid to get a cream? That will help you.
Aye.
I mean, people know these things happen.
Yeah.
Just like condoms.
Aye.
Yeah, people shouldn't be feeling ashamed to buy condoms.
I hear even when people go to ART, they are very secretive.
Oh, yeah, of course. And also, you mean when they're going to collect the medication? Yeah, of course. Yes. Actually, I remember when I was living in, I shouldn't mention the place, where I was living at my dad's place. So it's a community, of course, and there's a clinic in that community. But then there are people who come from far places to come and collect the ART from that station. A far place, you have to have and then they used to always come 05, 06. So kuma 6, you don't say. So it's a community, so kuna gate kwa many too much okay that was. So my times I mean nezo shika kusense nezo double chat. Kuna days monga like specific Wednesdays where you see an influx of people kusense. Ero abantu waoneka chat not to talk to, they are driving, what to do, what. No, they are walking ambili chat. It's like wakwera chimoto kachawasia somewhere, then they walk.
Then they all come.
Then they walk out. So to me, I was thinking that maybe they're general workers or something.
It's actually smart to do that because you assume anything. If they come as a group.
Exactly. So my funza bonus my visa.
Unless maybe the one dispensing, the pharmacist tells them, Imiran Panja. John Piri.
Bartram Dad.
I reject.
And the first thought I had was like, wow, that didn't even cross my mind. Those groups.
So that's interesting. Moving on.
We digressed.
Yes, we digressed. Moving on, the Speaker of the National Assembly has ordered Kabuswe to explain why Mopani was sold without parliamentary approval. So this is in a case where it seems there has been a change in ownership or an introduction of new shareholders. There's been a transfer of shares in Mopani, but we don't know the extent of the transfer of the shares. We don't know whether this has been a forfeiture, a surrender, a sale. We are not too sure, or maybe it was just an increment. I can give you a short, brief background on what happens with shares. So ideally, when you go to PACRA, register an institution, they'll give you a specific number of shares. The minimum is 20,000 shares. So for a mine, if you have investors with millions of dollars, they might buy millions of shares. Now, what happens is if this is a limited company and it's not public, I'm not too sure, is Mopani public yet?
So this company actually, by the time they were selling these shares, so to say, it was almost repossessed. Almost the whole of it was repossessed by ZCCMIH.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But would you know whether it's still limited or it's PLC?
I don't know about that. I don't even know how to explain the differences.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's a public company.
It's a public company, so meaning it's PLC. So in a case where it's a private limited, then they would have to relinquish their shares and sell to new shareholders, or they'll have to increase their shares and then sell. In a PLC, similar procedures can be done. We're not too sure. That's why the order has come out that the details should be furnished. But yeah, go on, please.
I just want to give some background as well to say that you remember there was a time this company was owned by Glencore at some point, FQM and all those things, but there were some issues, and ZCCMIH repossessed the mine. But then it was non-function, of course, because of money. There's no money. Yeah. So UPND, when they came, they said they are resurrecting the mines. So when they went to Mopani, they said, we're going to find an equity partner.
Yeah.
So they found these guys, Delta Mining, which is a subsidiary of IRL. They should be from the Middle East. I don't know exactly whether United Arab Emirates, or is it, I don't know. But those guys came and then they bought 51% of the shares.
Okay.
And ZCCM said this. ZCCMIH has got 49%.
Okay.
ZCCMIH, which is run, of course, on behalf of the Zambian people.
Yeah.
And it's Zambians actually who are investors in ZCCMIH. So now the argument is that this was when ZCCMIH repossessed this mine, it became state property. So for you to sell any shares that have got anything to do with state property, you need to go to Parliament.
Yes.
For ratification.
Yes.
Now, these people have been saying, and this is where now I get confused, because initially they just told us to say ZCCMIH IRL has procured 51% of the shares, because they brought in some money, and this was grandiose. The president was there to commission this, and they brought 1.something billion.
Didn't we? Is this the same one? The same mine we reported on?
Yes.
Where he was in dollar.
Yes, it's the same one.
This has nothing to do with Vedanta. We reported on Vedanta at some point. What mine was that?
So there are two. There's KCM and there's Mopani.
Okay.
So, and it's not in dollar, by the way. This should be Chingola or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So meaning I'm remembering a different.
Yeah, because there are two, and what happened is almost the same.
Okay.
Yeah, except that things at Mopani worked out faster. Yeah. So now,
and without Parliament. Yeah.
Exactly. Without Parliament approval.
Yeah.
So when it was happening, we were asking questions to say. Me initially, these UPND people convinced me, because some people were talking and they were asking to say, how are they selling shares of a government organization without Parliament approval? Then these guys came and said, no, we have not sold the mine. We have just given part of it.
Yeah, so you see, the reason why I brought up the whole issue of is it a PLC or a private company is because in a private company, a limited company, you are able to buy more shares from PACRA, for example, in your company, and then give them to a new shareholder without necessarily one of the shareholders giving up their shares. In a public company, that could be done as well, but the procedure may be a bit different.
Yeah, actually, I think that's what the minister is trying to explain, that's what happened.
So that's what happened. They just introduced new shareholders by increasing.
I think so. That's what the minister was trying to explain, unless there's something else that you come up with.
Yeah, I think it could be. Anyway, you can listen to the.
Yeah, but then I just have a question. If that happens in a public company, let's say we increase the shares. It still means those shares are part of the public company, right?
Yes.
So it means still, if there's a procedure of selling public shares,
it still needs to go through that. Exactly. Yes. It still does. There needs to be.
So then I smell a rat.
Yes, because also ZRA needs to property transfer tax, all these things. Ministry of Mines, Cadastre. If you're transferring shares, they need to give approval.
Okay.
So
Not that I understood everything you said.
you
But
can
thank you.
find our number somewhere, give us a call, we can do these things for you on Amazing Minds. It's a joke. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, you can listen to the back and forth in Parliament, the questions and the responses. Take a look.
Why did the initial shareholders of Mopani or of ZCCMIH be the ones who authorized an allotment instead of the board of directors?
Madam Speaker, I have said the shareholders approved and issued new shares of 7 million, and they approved. And that was what was done. It is in the statement, and it is as clear as white water.
But even
To me, once someone starts saying things like, as clear as white water.
What is white water? What
When
is
there's
white
a problem
water?
there.
I know. As clear as something that we can't see through.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Yeah, and this was the denial of the sale. Take a look.
Why did you decide to sell the shares without coming here for approval?
Regardless of which terminology we are using, there was change of ownership of the asset which belonged to the state. Which procedure was used other than the procedure in the Republican Constitution?
I'm answering the same question. It's just being circumvented, but I'll answer. Mopani, at transaction, had a property called 6 million shares, and it was not touched. What the shareholders did was to issue new shares to raise capital for the company, and this is done in a lot of businesses. So there was no sale, Madam Speaker. I thank you.
Yeah, it's a bit unclear what these people are saying because, there's so many ways that if it's a public company and you're trying to sell it to the public, there's what you call an initial, if it was private and you're turning it into a public company, there's an initial public offering where people are called now, come and buy shares. This is not what happened. Anyway, we'll wait for the details to be furnished, lest we confuse the viewers with all this Pakra jargon.
With IPOs.
IPOs and limited and POC. Yeah, but basically, we're not too sure of what kind of a transfer occurred, but there was a transfer that happened within Mopani, and we'll keep you guys posted because this is your thing.
Yeah. Anyway, I just want to say that this would be interesting to see, and it's good that this has come up again.
Yes.
Because we were almost forgetting about this. A lot of people were talking, no, there's been an illegality and what, and everyone kept quiet. And these are, when we talk about the mines, this is like our blood.
Yes.
This is what we are known for as a
This
country.
makes us stand out as a republic. Yeah.
Yes, and the minerals visit. So if we're not careful with it, by the time these are organizations, these are foreign organizations.
They will now no longer need copper wherever they take it.
Yeah, exactly.
Nishibanapanga kudara veves of no pan.
And also, I think let us not also run away from the fact that Mopani had almost died.
Yeah.
Now it's back to life. The good thing about that is that people are back in employment.
Is this showing? Oops.
What's that?
The wrong cap altogether.
Oh, that was showing.
Yeah. Ooh. Can you pass me that one? Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So anyway, what I want to say is that Mopani was dead for some time. And then when UPND came, of course, this transpired. The mine is back.
Yeah.
So, of course, the good thing is that we have got people working. Of course, the suppliers are back into business as well. And also the copper is being mined.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's also important that we do the right procedures because you might find that there was something shoddy that happened. People got kickbacks for not following the procedure.
Yeah.
And we can't be celebrating a few jobs and then people are getting huge kickbacks at the expense of Zambians.
While some of their colleagues are inside, like Bowman and GBM.
Those, they needed to be inside.
Yeah, but I mean, if these guys are doing an illegality, then we need to start looking those directions.
They also go.
in the next
Yes,
in the next regime.
Yeah, no one will be spared.
Yeah, that's what happens in Zambia. Once a new there are investigations that kick in.
Yeah,
anyway, all over Africa.
I pray for the day when people in power can be investigated just as much.
Wow, they are in power.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the speaker gave a directive over the same thing. Clearly, she also perceived the confusion that we perceive, and we'll very quickly let you see the response so we can move on to what's ahead.
Order. Honorable members, you recall that before the honorable member for Kalabo Central was raised a point of order, I was just about to give guidance. So, Honorable Minister, the question, it appears, has not been satisfactorily answered. I think what you need to do is come back again with a ministerial statement to explain in full detail the transaction, how it happened, who bought, who owns what company, and the reason why Parliament was excluded from participating in that transaction. So the Honorable Minister and yet you call me names. That is on a lighter note, don't worry. So the Honorable Minister to come back to the House on Thursday next week with a detailed explanation of what exactly happened. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so that was the response from the speaker. Quite impressive, I must say.
Yeah, but quite happy. They are jokers.
I know, right? Even though you insult me and call me names, on a lighter note.
No, we respect you, madam.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Madam Nelly Muti.
We sincerely respect, and we must make something clear. Here at Amazing Minds, we do not despise authority. We actually honor and respect authority, except we believe in the accountability of authority. We are Christians. The Bible encourages us to honor and not despise authority. Therefore, we cannot despise the speaker, the president, or any of these people. But we expect the accountability and throw in a few sprinkles of comedy here and there. By the way, everything we say on the show is for entertainment purposes only.
But me, I like the speaker because she's also beautiful.
Really? She is. She's a beautiful woman. She is.
She's rich.
Yeah, so in another case, the Electoral Commission of Zambia has set Friday, the 20th of December, 2024, as the date on which to hold the National Assembly by-election for Kawambwa and two others. So Nixon Chilangwa's seat is up for grabs. He's inside, right? Yeah.
He's inside. Now we've been assured that he's losing his seat.
Yeah, now we've been assured that he's losing his seat. I remember his issue came up like, now that he's gone in, blah, 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 his seat. Yeah. So
December will be full of activities. Huh?
Yeah, December will be full of activities. We're also waiting on
December, Edgar Lungu. 20th December by-elections.
10th December.
1st December and AIDS
World AIDS Day. Yeah. We might go and do it from that ART you talked about, who set camp there just so we can see the crowds he talked about. That would be so offensive to people.
Very much.
That one we need to stream it so it's live.
Let people see for themselves.
Yeah. On the international scale of things, we are seeing Biden and Trump sitting together for what may be the first time in a cordial, in a long time, in a cordial fashion. They're actually smiling and congratulating each other, saying thank you and all that kind of stuff. It's
politicians for you.
Politicians for you, but also it to an extent shows us the spirit of American politics, that they try by all means, even if they don't like each other, to show you as if they like each other.
Trump failed to do that.
Yeah, okay. Trump failed to do that, even though Trump failed to do that in 2020 because the election was supposedly stolen from him. But we'll not get into that. Except this time, Kamala Harris has been said to be $20 million in debt after her campaign.
As an individual?
No, her campaign.
Okay.
Because they received a total of $1 billion for their campaign from well wishers and donors. Okay. They blew through that and went $20 million in. I'm sure they were expecting they will use the presidency to pay back. But
so they did like 1.2 billion?
Yeah, no. 1 billion 20. Yeah. 1 billion and 20. So now the interesting thing is, how do you spend $1 billion on a campaign? That was very short because she joined the race at the end. Then secondly, how do you get 20 million into debt? And now, funny thing, I brought this up because Trump has offered to pitch in. He says she's stressed, so he will pay something, maybe half.
Yeah. But also, mentioning 1 billion like that people need about 1 billion to carry out a campaign in the American elections. It also tells you that, so that investor who came and Mupani brought a lot of money.
He did, but also...
not he, by the way, they did.
They did, but also we must take note that that's not what's needed for elections because Trump didn't go that far and he won. They overspent because, they're paying people like Beyonce was paid $10 million for 3 minutes of speaking on stage.
She was paid?
Yeah, $10 million.
She was paid?
They were all paid. All the celebrities you saw were all paid. Cardi B, 3 million. Megan Thee Stallion, 5 million. Eminem, 1 million. These guys, Eminem. Yes, they all received millions of dollars. So
they're not so different from the slabdis of this world.
They're not different, and also it shows you that they don't actually believe in the candidate.
Yeah,
if they believed in the candidate, they wouldn't have received those exorbitant amounts of money. So it also shows you that they were trying to buy votes from people.
I didn't know that part that they were paid. Huh?
Yeah, they were paid. So that's a bit sad, but let's look at Trump and...
So, ni same na is long.
Same, your maps, same.
It's only that what were the low budget.
As a low budget and we forgive.
But even in the US, they forgive, man.
Yeah.
It's a matter of time.
It's just a matter of time, man. Yeah, so you take a look at Biden and Trump.
Mr. President-elect and former President, thank you. Donald, congratulations. Thank you. And looking forward to having like we said, a smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today. So good. Welcome
thank you
back.
Very much. And thank you very much. And politics is tough, and it's in many cases not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today, and I appreciate very much a transition that's so smooth. It'll be as smooth as it can get, and I very much appreciate that, Jim.
You're welcome. Thank you all.
Yeah, so while you watch the Trump video, Zesco did their thing. Really, I think they have been stressed by this 7 hours of power thing. You can take it back to 3, we're okay. That also means you will not be able to see Mr. Chofia for now because I'm just here to really close the show.
Yeah, thank you guys. We'll see you next week. I'll see you next week.
Jofia is on the audio podcast right now.
You will see me next week.
You will see him next week. Unless you want to see how dark he really is.
You don't want to see that.
I know, right? So interestingly, while they're making peace in the United States, or let me say while they are putting up an image of peace in the United States, for democratic reasons, in Uganda, our neighbors here, they are arresting TikTokers for having spoken against or insulting the first family, which is quite an interesting thing. And when we look at Botswana, they have just sworn in their youngest minister. I guess a pinch of democracy is brushing off on Africa now. We're beginning to see young people coming up to leadership positions. That's very good. I'm hoping we can even see presidents who are young.
25 years old.
Yeah, but 25 is a stretch.
We hope she's bringing substance, by the way.
Huh?
We hope she's bringing substance. I know I'm not being hit.
Oh yeah. Joffrey, they are shouting in the background. But yeah, we really do hope she's bringing substance. She's just 25 years old. And yeah, that's what's going on in Botswana. We know they have a new president who was recently elected.
Duma Boko.
Duma who?
Boko.
Duma Boko. Yeah, Duma Boko. Oh, the show is very interesting right now. Everything is off. Like, guys, it's just me and you. So, how have you been?
And I'm your advisor.
And my advisor is shouting in the background there because I can't see anything. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the show. This was a great show. We shall see you on Friday with Bible Talks. We're continuing with the Spirit Life series. We did Spirits of Things. This Friday, we're doing Omnipresence versus Manifest Presence. Please do bring your shouting clothes on Friday. And we'll see you with the Monday show next week. For now, it's bye-bye.
Hey, like what you see? I know you do. Hit the button below to subscribe and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Ciao.